Just this week, 4 million fentanyl pills were seized by U.S. Customs and Border Protection in Arizona. The bust, weighing more than half a ton, it is the largest fentanyl seizure in CBP history. For more on this, let's bring in former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf. Chad, you were in California and Texas at the border. I was out earlier this week in Nogales, Arizona, interviewing Troy Miller, the commissioner of CBP, for a special. It's coming out on August 14th on Fox Nation. And he talked just a little bit about just how severe this fentanyl crisis is. Take a listen here.
I've been U.S. Customs Service, Customs and Border Protection for 31 years. And this is the most daunting threat I've seen. It's, we're seeing 100,000 overdose deaths a year. We've never seen anything like it.
You obviously were at DHS, and this fentanyl problem has really been decades in the making with the opioid crisis. What are your thoughts with the war on fentanyl?
Well, I think what's been clear is that this administration has not put a priority on it, right? So this starts in China with the precursors that are then shipped to Mexico and then, of course, trafficked and smuggled across that border at alarming rates and almost exclusively by the cartels. And so it's time for the U.S. to get serious about really combating the cartels. So it's not only the fentanyl, but obviously the human trafficking that they're pushing across that border as well. And so when it comes to CBP and interdiction, that's like the last chance to stop this deadly poison from coming into the country. You really got to attack it further upstream. And the administration, there is no strategy for this. When is the last time that you've seen President Biden or Vice President Harris come out and talk to the American people about how they're combating this fentanyl crisis across the country? And they just don't talk about it. And so that tells me that it's not a priority for this administration. I love the CBP officers and the agents that are interdicting this, but they are just catching just a small percentage, unfortunately.
When Karine Jean-Pierre at the White House this week was mentioning a little bit about fentanyl, but I think it is one of these priorities for the nation, for my sort of thoughts on it, that should really transcend politics regardless of your party or administration. And now, in talking to the officials like Miller and others, I asked them in the recent arrest of El Mayo, the co-founder of the Sinaloa cartel responsible for a majority of the fentanyl coming into our country, whether that arrest would have an impact. And most of them say no, that business will go on.
I think that's right. The business will go on. History has told us that when we arrest a top leader of one of these several cartels across that border, then 3 or 4 more of the leaders just pop up pretty quickly. I do agree with Troy Miller about the scourge of fentanyl and it killing over 100,000 Americans every single day. And that's why there's got to be an intense focus. And it's not just a DHS focus, right? It's a Department of State focus. It's a Department of Justice focus on how do we combat, how do you go after these cartels in a way that's going to make a difference. It's time for the United States government to stop admiring this problem and actually start coming up with solutions to directly attack it.
Chad, I want to switch gears a little bit. We got news on Friday, obviously, the CHNV program. That's Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans. The program for the administration to allow migrants to apply and come through a legal pathway has been temporarily paused because of internal discoveries of fraud. Your thoughts? Yeah,
look, this is one of the hallmarks of the Biden-Harris immigration system over the last 3.5 years, the CBP-1 app and this unlawful use of parole, which they are paroling thousands of folks into the country every day and every week and every month. And what this report tells us is that there's massive amounts of fraud in the public reporting in that system. You have, as those individuals are paroled into the country, you got to have a sponsor that's filling out paperwork and sponsoring those individuals into the country. And what we've seen is about 3,000 people are sponsoring over 100,000 people, right? There's Social Security numbers. There's addresses that are showing up on addresses that are P.O. Box. And so what this tells me is that unlike what the Biden administration has told the American people, that they are looking at each one of these applications closely on a case-by-case basis, it doesn't appear that's actually what's going on here. This is categorical parole that they are providing, which is against the law. It's not what they told the American people, nor what they have testified to Congress to. So I think they've got a lot of answers, or a lot of questions to answer, I should say.
They do indeed. And just one other shift, and that is you were in San Diego this week at the border, where we know in April a Jordanian migrant illegally crossed, was released by border officials. And less than a month later, he is one of 2 illegal Jordanians that tried to breach Quantico, the Marine Corps base there, one of the nation's most secure military installations. We've been reporting, Fox confirmed, that the 2 were released on bond in early June by a DOJ immigration judge. Many people wondering, Chad, why in the world would someone like that be out free to roam around?
Well, they should be wondering. This isn't overly difficult. This is individuals that come in this country unlawfully, get released, and then you see, an incident occur in Quantico, and you start to scratch your head and say, well, what's going on? Was this planned? Luckily, it was thwarted, but then you have an immigration judge and you have others that decide to release these individuals. It's time to hold them accountable. You've got to send a signal to the folks that are going to continue to do this, that there's going to be consequences for this behavior. And as you indicate, I was in San Diego, and I'm looking at some of the border infrastructure and touring that border, and I'm asking, where are all the Border Patrol agents? Because we saw very few, and we were actually able to talk to one, and he was only one in the several stretch of miles, and he said most of his other Border Patrol agents are in processing centers, processing migrants. And that's just the strategy of the Biden administration for the last 3.5 years. That's not where they should be. That's not their highest value or their use. It's actually out there interdicting people and bad things coming into this country. But that's, of course, what we've seen almost for 4 years now.
And we're going to hear a lot more about the border policies of this administration as we continue towards an election. Chad Wolf, former acting DHS Secretary, thank you always for your insight and time.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.